Good afternoon, everyone. It's Cindy Menon from HeartHealthBrainHealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit more about soul power. And soul power requires that we actually think in a space that's beyond the mind. And today I thought I'd bring a couple of quotations to your attention. And when we work beyond the mind, make sure that you recognize that we are beyond the ego in this space. So here, the first quotation I'd like to start with is by Paramahansa Yogananda. And Paramahansa Yogananda did this beautiful quotation, which I think really hits the spot for this video. This quotation says, "Freedom means the power to act by soul guidance, not by the compulsions of desires and habits. Obeying the ego leads to bondage. Obeying the soul leads to liberation." And it brings liberation. So this is so important for us to understand that when we think about liberation or freedom or an ability to work beyond the ego, we are thinking of working from the soul power. Now, majority of people do not focus on working from soul power, and this is because we're trained in a way to constantly react to what happens. And when we react to what happens, it's usually from a thought process, like I said in the last video. And what we'd like to do is actually be just one step ahead of the mind. And when we're one step ahead of that mind, we get to a place where we can understand that there's something else that guides us. And unless we give a moment to stop, reflect, pause, some would say surrender, and all of these things before actually responding, if we do not do that, we will work from our mind. And when we work from our mind, it's from the egoic patterns that we have trained over time. So today I'd like to remind you that when you are in a situation, one of the first things that happens to people is they blame a situation or they blame a person. That person made me upset. This situation makes me upset. I talked about the rain in the last video. So the weather can make people upset. And people can make people upset, especially if you just had a fight with someone and you see them today, you're already in that upset space. That creates a thought that this person upset me. And from that space, we find that we act from that upset reaction. And not only was I upset yesterday, I can be upset today. And so today I'd like to remind you that unless we take a pause, unless we surrender, unless we stop and slow down and calm the mind, we can't act from the soul space. And this, just like training a muscle, is training the mind. The training the mind to be quiet takes a little bit of focused attention and a little bit of intention to correct. So if you make a mistake and you follow the mind's direction, it's okay. Catch yourself, pause, and let the soul take over. And this is the easiest thing to do when we fall asleep at night. So before you go to sleep, make sure that you train your mind about what's the best thing in my day today? What's the best thing that feels really good today? Today, I think about this. When you fall asleep with that energy, you will wake up in that energy. And most people, when they're falling asleep, they're thinking about, what didn't I do today? What went wrong today? What's not right today? So today, I want to remind you that falling asleep is a great time to practice, and in the morning is a great time to practice. Those are the two ideal times for our soul energy and soul power. And yet, unless we're building it up, we will work from the mind instinctively. So I want to end this video with one more quotation. This quotation is by Nikki Rowe, and Nikki Rowe says, "Keep your mindset strong, your heart full, your intentions kind, and your dreams big." And I agree with this. Remember, keep your dreams big, keep your heart full, keep your intentions strong, and make sure that you know that this is all in your hands, depending on how you direct your mind. I hope that this helps you. I hope you have a fantastic day and night ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.